If you are in Belize or planning on taking a trip to Belize and you intend on doing the ATM Cave tour and you're 40 or over, you need to watch this video. One, I'm going to say the ATM Cave tour, absolutely worth it. I would do it again in a split second. But being in my 40s, and other people who were my age or a little older, the consensus was we were definitely not prepared for the level that cave tour is. So first thing, if you were going to do the ATM Cave tour, I would definitely recommend bringing an extra pair of tennis shoes with you, because during that tour, you're going to get wet. You are going to be swimming. You are going to be walking through a river to get to the cave, and you are going to be soaked by the time you get back. So for me, I did the tour on day one of my trip to Belize, and luckily I brought an extra pair of shoes because my pair of shoes were still wet the next day. Also bring a change of clothing with you because, like I said, you're going to get wet, and because you are required to go with a tour guide, after you do the cave tour, they have areas where you're able to change. So definitely bring an extra pair of clothing with you. Now to talk about the ATM cave. So first thing you do once you get to the location is you are going to cross a river. You're going to walk through it. It was a little cold, but it was nice. I think you walk through the river 2 or 3 times. Once you get to the cave, and I had a life jacket and a helmet with a light on, you are going to be swimming to get into the cave. So be prepared to get wet like immediately. But the part that I wasn't prepared for is, like I said, I would do it again in a split second. I just wish I had a little bit of a warning, is that you are going to be going through small areas. You will be, like I said, swimming. Actually, you're going to be going through quite a bit of small areas. I mean, there was one point, I think you can either climb over rocks, or there was one point where you have to kind of like pull your vest down, and like there's like a small space where you have to like just barely fit your neck through a certain part to swim through or float through. Yeah, but like I said, I didn't want to climb over the rock, so I chose that option. Next, I'm scared of heights. I'm actually very proud that I did this, but you are going to be climbing over rocks. You're going to have to be holding onto other rocks while you are climbing, and there was multiple times where either I'm literally on my knees crawling through small spaces, or on my butt just kind of sliding because I'm scared of heights. But there was one rock for me that was very intimidating because, like, I'm scared of heights. I don't climb things. I'm even scared to like go up a ladder. But there was a rope across the cave, and there was one rope sliding down the rock, but my guide said don't use that. It's better just to like, they tell you where to place your feet to climb this large rock to get to the higher level of the cave. So, like I said, someone who's scared of heights, I looked at that rock and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I did it. Apparently my drive and need to go, see everything was stronger than my fear. But that is definitely something that I just figured it would be nice to know. So if you were going to go on this, definitely wear some shoes with grips. Just because you're going to be walking literally in the water quite a bit in the cave, and you are going to be wet as you climb this rock. But like I said, the tour guides will tell you where to place your feet. It was like I did it. And even when you have to climb down, luckily the tour guides told us where to place our feet. And because I'm scared of heights, I asked the guy to actually place my feet where I needed to, because I knew if I looked down, I'm stuck. I'm not moving. You're not getting me down. So that's what I had them do. But overall, the cave tour was amazing. Like I said, I would do it again. Actually, I probably will do it again in a couple years. The formations, seeing history and hearing the history, and when you are very close to the remains and the pots that are in the cave, it's just, if you enjoy history or Mayan history, it's something that I would definitely recommend. But just, be prepared. And in order to get to the part where you have to see the last remain, you have to take your shoes off and you walk up in your socks. So also be prepared for that. So I did my excursions. I did the ATM Cave tour on Tuesday, and then I took a call on Wednesday. Considering some of the people in my group for Tikal on Wednesday still had their same shoes from the day before and they were wet, how I would have changed it was I would have probably done Tikal the day one, just because I think I walked like 5 miles that day, and doing that after the cave tour was a little much. So I would probably do Tikal first, then take a day to rest, and then do the ATM cave tour. But either way, every tour was amazing, and I would recommend all of it. But I just figured I would let people know, just because, like I said, I was a little shocked. So I figured I'd do a video to give everybody a heads up. Definitely recommend it. It is a must. But just like I said, bring a change of clothes, bring an extra pair of shoes with you on your trip, and, you know, get prepared to get wet, but have an experience of a lifetime.